Okay, let's call the meeting to order if we could, please. Cold. Okay, not on the agenda. I knew that Jeff's purchase here. Under KRS 61810, I'm going to ask Fiscal Court at the tail end of our regular business meeting, go into closed sessions, and the closed sessions would be G 61810-1G, where discussions between a public agency and a representative of a business entity, and discussions concerning a specific proposal, where open discussions would jeopardize the size, retention, or expansion or upgrading of business. This just came up yesterday. Okay. Minutes from the June 7th meeting. By the way, we have our #1 lady back this month.
Motion approved as presented.
Motion from Sam Hutchins to approve the minutes. Second by Jerry Hahn. All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. Next would be your bills list, additional bills list, and quite a few transfers. And the transfers at our personnel committee, we pointed out that the current fiscal year you're in had an extra payroll, and that required a lot of transferring within the budget process. And just want to make sure everybody was, that's the ones that caught my attention while we raised it. And I knew why, but
15 years, so.
I knew why it was there.
I'm glad we got that fixed out in the fairgrounds. That helped.
What's that, Jerry?
Yeah, at the fairgrounds, the water.
Water leak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make a motion.
To approve the bills and transfers, Jerry? Thank you, Steve. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Jeff. Any further discussion?
I got a question for Brad. Brad, did they get the compactor big?
Yes. I'll go into detail more in my report, but yes.
All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And then you would.
Next would be second reading of the budget amendment. Our last meeting, we approved on first reading, advertised for a second. The sale to Thai Summit was the majority of that budget amendment. Need a motion to approve on second reading and adoption.
A motion to approve on second reading.
Thank you, Sam. Second by Keith Metcalf. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry.
Did you see that, Jim?
Next would be a pay rate order for 2016 and 17. The Personnel Committee met and had brief discussions on this. It was pointed out by Magistrate Sam Hutchins that the 2% was fine, but he wishes that the lower rate paid folks could get more. Is that what your intention was, Sam?
Well, I've argued that same fight for 10 years, and I'm okay with the 2%. I just think there's a little bit of disparity between the high end and the low end. I don't think the fellows at $11 an hour will ever make up that difference.
And we're going to try to, he's talking about mostly part-time EMT people, mostly part-time EMT people. But we're going to work on that over the next 12-month cycle.
And I know that, and I appreciate that.
Motion to approve, Sam?
I'll make a motion to approve. Do we want to do the both in one, or?
No, just do the pay rate order first.
Motion to approve the pay rate as presented.
Second by Bernard Ice. Further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Next would be your dental, vision, life, short-term disability. Able to save a little bit of money on that this year. Going to a company called the Standard Company. We checked with most of the vendors around town as far as the dental, and it's used quite a bit. And that's the employees pays, I think it's 50/50 or something of that nature.
I heard y'all say that the local dentists are in this.
Effective August 1st, is that correct?
Effective August 1st, yes.
Yes.
Then it's all self-explanatory. Do y'all have any questions on it? We carry a life insurance policy on the employees and a short-term disability. They get, if they're off work for some reason, they get short-term disability, not long-term.
And even for the employees, is it the same rate that we're paying?
Yes.
So I can report to those guys.
How come it's not starting July 1st? How come all that?
That's because this is, our
It's
plan year
always-
starts on August 1st.
Always done August
Yeah.
1st. And the short term is for 26 week period. Is what it's saying.
In the other, the vision and the life and the short-term disability are all 3-year guaranteed prices, but you still have the option to go back. It's pretty nice to get that going in there like that. If I get a motion to approve the standard.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Jeff Lears, second Bernard,
Yes.
second by Bernard Ice. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry.
What's that translate into savings in dollars?
Did we put a pencil to that? I don't think we have. I'll get you that though, Jeff. We can get you that.
Smells like blacktop money to me, I don't know.
You might get somebody to drive with you.
Short driveway.
It'd be a short driveway too.
You ain't tricking me, I know you can with that.
Oh, you caught on to that, huh? Amended alcohol ordinance. I put that on the agenda at the request of Magistrate Sam Hutchins. He had received a couple concerns, at least one concern, maybe two. Whereas the city changed their ordinance back a few months ago to allow package sales in grocery stores and so forth of beer on Sunday morning at 6 a.m., just like the rest of the work week. The city's approved that, and some of the mini marts outside the city limits have requested that same ability.
Well, they feel like they're not getting a fair shake because they can't sell until 1 p.m. You know, and where they're fairly close to one another, I can see that would be a problem. And for me, I'm fine with it either way, but
Yeah, we've actually, Matthew brought this up to me several months ago, and when nobody really has a method until somebody starts asking for it, I don't see a need, but now, I do think that the
I think it ought to be
mini marts out in
consistent
the county ought to be
countywide.
consistent. Be consistent.
Yeah.
Who's the ABC enforcement? You check regularly before 1 on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, you go out to Walmart, or you got the lights off. And by the way, some of the big department stores haven't changed yet because the corporate offices got to approve those policies all the way down. It's been, city did it how many months ago? Probably 6? Yeah, long time.
It was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, right at the beginning of the year, probably, in that range. But I have no problem with this ordinance, the amendment going down to 6 a.m.
So you just reworded it where that was,
Change the time.
And Matthew also went ahead and corrected, or clarified the election day sales on that as well. Whereas we changed our ordinance for that before, but this makes it a little bit clearer.
you can sell on election day.
You can't sell on election day. Get a motion to approve on
After
first
the
reading.
polls close, correct?
No,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I
Terry's
don't
had
have
to
a
make a
problem.
motion, he's down there itching today, boys. Can I get a second to that?
I'll second.
Second by Sam. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. We'll put it on for second reading and adoption in our next board meeting.
Another one, you know, he's saying.
Packaged beer sales, right, packaged liquor.
Packaged liquor generally.
Yes,
Now, that doesn't mean restaurants can do it.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, road department report. County road aid agreement, you have a copy of that in your mail. Media, I believe you got a copy of it as well. Hope you did. I didn't put one in your box. Yeah, I got an extra one. I thought I put one in your box.
Thank you.
That amounts to about $1.312 million this year, down from past years, a couple $100,000, 240 or so, over 200,000. But you guys have been made aware of that over the last few months, so I'll need the court to approve this so we can get our road money.
Who determines that?
It's by formula, by the state of Kentucky, by the General Assembly.
Mileage, population.
Why'd it go down?
Gas tax has a cap on it of 27 cents, I think, 26 or 27 cents a gallon. And it had gotten up to like 31, 32 cents a gallon during the peak times, but the General Assembly, you remember about a year and a half ago, said they're going to cap it at 27 cents. I believe it's 27. You know, you lose track of years when you start talking about these things. But, so the rural secondary program that they came to the court a couple of months ago and talked about, that fund is down significantly too, probably 400,000 or more. So everybody's feeling a little bit of crunch. Motion by Jerry Hahn to approve the agreement with the state. Second by Jeff. All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry.
That's most of your road department money there.
Yeah, you'll get a check, first, I think the first installment will be about 600,000 or 700,000, 763,000. That'll come in first part of August? First part of August, or middle of August probably. When interest rates were real high, when I first became judge, that money sat in the state's bank for an extra 30 days or so before you got it. But now the money's a point or two with your money in the bank, seems like you get a little bit faster. The Woodlawn Road culvert replacement update, Jim, you got any?
Yeah, the contractor, Kelvin Wilson, bulldozing.
Has he ever?
I've talked to him. He's supposed to get me shop drawings on the reinforcing steel design this week. He's stated that he would start July 5th, which is July 4th Monday. He didn't want to start that Monday. He'll start Tuesday. So what I've asked him is to get me the shop drawings in an email, something that tells me specifically that I'm going to send out a notice to the EMS people and let them know that the road will be closed to through traffic at that point. That's the best I can tell you at this point. I'm supposed to get those drawings this week is what he's telling me, so we'll see. Haven't got them today and didn't get them yesterday. But he's sending mill supplies, supposed to be his reinforcing steel people, who's the same ones that McMike was used for. That type of stuff.
Sounds good.
Ready? Next on the list, I'll put a paving list we'll put down the agenda in the next several meetings to see if you guys narrow down the list for us to look at. I understand Magistrate Ice has got something to talk about today.
I've got Tool Creek, I've got Bennett's Lane, Madison Road, and North Drive.
That amounts to $199, and so you have to use some of last year's money. Jim, you reviewed those roads. You got on Tool Creek, it's $27,000. On the Bennett's Lane was $100,375. Masden was that 62?
62, 532.80.
Well, you asked me, Dean.
You reviewed those roads. The Tool Creek, you said some is poor, some is fair, and the balance of the roads.
North Drive is poor shape, needs an overlay.
Right.
Those are really the only roads that I've looked at that I felt like need an overlay at this point in time.
Okay. Magistrate Ice has a different opinion of that, and he wants Bennett's Lane, and the other one put it on there as well.
We didn't get a copy of that.
I just got it. I was out
this
yesterday,
morning.
so I just got it this morning. You want to review it?
Now, how much is that's from last year's?
120,000, what he's got this year.
This year, next year, what it is, February.
Which ones do you want to do?
The one
Tool
circle.
Creek, Bennett's Lane.
These that said they're in fair shape?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
But now that's Jim's opinion. The magistrates make the final decision on that.
Bennett's Lane, Madison, and North Drive.
I've always let you guys make that final decision.
Go ahead.
I make a motion of these particular roads be paved.
Okay. Second by Jerry Hahn. Discussion?
I don't know. I believe a road ought to get paved when it needs to get paved. But
It's a matter of opinion sometimes.
I agree.
All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Jim, rest of your report?
All right, mowers are, we've completed districts 1 and 3 for the second round. We're going into district 4 for the second round. One tractor broke down the other day, we're getting it fixed. But we're pretty much on schedule on the bush hogging. We got the boom mowers running full time, best we can. We have to pull the men off when I do pavement. That's when it shuts down, because I need the extra 2 men to do on paving. What I've got is 2 4-man crew that run out there and do maintenance, and we can do all that with the 2 4-man crew. Pretty nice until you do paving. Then I need 6 and 8 people, flagging, extra people on the ground, truck drivers bring it. You can't just have a truck driver get out and help. He's got to be there with the asphalt and go get more. So it takes a lot of crew to do any kind of patching work. Today, we're going to do some patching work on copper fields. So the boom mower will be shut down about noon. It's supposed to be boom mowing this morning, and then go from there. Because all of you guys keep asking to boom mow.
Well, I know last year, you know, my district never did get mowed last year, so I'd like to keep it on.
I've got work orders. I got work orders that says boom mow entire district from everybody. So
I know that last year mine wasn't in that.
Didn't get one no.
It never got there, so
I'm
the rest of them get my turn.
I think Jerry hit me up this morning about one on his road. So
It's been done several times in last year.
so we'll keep doing it. We could, I guess you could buy another
You
boom
can
mower.
all 5 of these guys.
We can
That's
get
when
a-
you're retiring, isn't it?
The particular work that we've done, Stump's Trailer Park, we had some ditch problem in there and the cross drain stopped up and did finish that up. It turned out pretty nice. Brad helped out there with the foreman on grade control because it's so flat, but it worked out nice, did real good job. Cornish Lane, Keene Road, edge of pavement repair, cold mix work, hot mix pads, Grigsby Lane. We finished, been calling it Crenshaw, it's really Grigsby Lane. We had some 3-foot diameter pipes in the ditch line and the cross drain, and it was a pretty good little project, but we finished it up, and then we ended up putting, since the road was all tore up, we put a pretty long hot mix patch on it. It's the first time Paul Donahue worked on a paving machine without Jerry Newton there, and he did a good job, did a real good job. I was pleased with it. He said we need to mill our joints out, asphalt joints out when we come better, because he's plowing too, and he hits them and they throw his blade and everything else. But he did a real good job. I said, you don't need to, you know, the one he did there looked real nice. So I'm pleased with that. He's doing a good job on that. So
That's not easy work, guys.
no, it isn't. You got to stay right on it, hot, and stay right on top of it. And, you know, or it turns out to be rough. And then you guys get complaints of bumps in the road. So. Icetown Road, we're actually doing some repair work on Copperfield Way today, Dean. That's a road that needs an overlay, Jerry. The whole road does, but we're gonna patch an area, fix an area, dig it out, and repair it that's failed. Paul Draper's crew, they've helped out on, they did most of the work on Crenshaw Lane, the pipes and whatnot. They did some final work on stumps. 2 days of tree removal. We worked on Edwards Avenue. You turned the work order in, Dean, on a flat area back there that was just a swamp, and we dug it out pretty good. Campground Road entrance, quarry lane ditches, cross drains. And that's about it on the road department. I was going to mention a few things about these projects. Nelson County Jail, HVAC, smoke evac, if you got a minute, you know. We've, of course, we've got the new unit on the roof, paid for half of it. We're going to be paying the final bill, I think, this month, another $50,000 worth of.
In July?
Yeah, it'll be this coming fiscal year. I've talked to Rhonda about it, so, the new fiscal year. But anyway, they've gone in there and rebalanced the airflow in the building real good. The louvers and whatnot, damper controls, open them up, and all the air moves good in there, flowing through these jail cells a lot better than it used to. There's still a problem with clogging up the vents. That's just something the inmates have to be told to quit doing. Dorcas is aware of it. She knows you got to keep
Brown
on.
back there.
But that will
I don't understand
fail.
why we still have to run fans in there if they've got the air,
Well, here's where I'm gonna get with that. Here's what's going on with
I mean,
that.
portable fans.
The HVAC unit cools and heats the whole thing. When the smoke, when it detects smoke, it sucks all the conditioned air out and dumps in all outside air, so you can get that smoke
Right,
out.
right.
So when you're dumping in 90-degree air into the building, it gets hot, and it takes a while to cool it off. So you don't want that smoke evac coming on, and that's the way it was originally designed to work. And I feel like it should work fine now. I don't want to set a smoke bomb off to test it in this type of hot weather, because it will cook you. I mean, it won't.
Yeah.
Right now, we manually turn it on. The other thing setting it off is your showers. And the problem with that is the vents for the the fans over the bathroom areas of the jail cells they got their own they got their own fans, and they're clogged up real bad, and they're not pulling the steam out.
Yeah.
Stuff, inmates, things, they need cleaning real bad. They need to almost
The
do,
surgeon showed up at the booking that there's nobody to clog those vents up.
do what now?
The search and shower that's outside that booking area, there's nobody in that area to clog them
I'm
up.
talking about the vents, and these are the, one of the reasons that the steam sets off the smoky vac is it's not going out the bathroom
The old
exhaust.
the old section's the worst.
Yeah.
The newer section, we don't have a problem.
You don't have that problem. No, you never do. It's a better design.
And I can see right now, we've got 2 female cells. We're so full of females. We've got 20-some females in 9 beds.
Yeah. It's just it's a problem of the layout.
Well, I mean, that's the truth. I mean, that's how many we have. Of course, last week, we got 9 out of drug court. And they were given days. So, and all the jails in the state of Kentucky are full. The week that I went to the training, I mean, the prisons are full. They're not even pulling them in.
Before we do a smoky back for the corrections department, we probably ought to figure out a way to clean the vents off the bathroom exhaust vents. All the other stuff works fine until the inmates clog it up, and they do that periodically, but that'll fail us.
Toilet paper.
And the reason for that is because that air is constantly blowing in across the beds. They've got them in the wrong places. That's the way the jail was
Yeah.
built.
The design, I've always, I agree with
Yeah,
you. It's poor design, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
But it will fail a smoky vac test. If we come in there and that stuff's on there, it'll fail the test. I think the test will pass now. We do need to clean the vents before we tell the state, hey, we're ready for a smoke test.
Wait till
If
cool weather to do it.
if they'll wait until it's cool weather, it'd be nice, unless you think, Dorcas, they want to come in and test
We
it.
should check with them, Dorcas.
I will.
And tell them that everything's built, everything's finished. The balance report, I'm supposed to get this week, next week, something like that. I mean, we were getting 55 CFM in the jail cell, I'm getting 200, so that means the smoke ought to come out. It's working, it's a huge improvement. Of course, that breeze on the inmates is a big deal.
I'm like Sam said, I don't like that breeze, they should stay out of jail.
Exactly.
Texas Shore.
The other projects, the culvert on Woodline Road, you heard about that. The Bloomfield EMS building's about 75% complete. I think I sent you guys some pictures of whatnot.
For you guys, I'm meeting with Mayor Hagan at 11 o'clock today to go over the lease agreement. Get it ready to go. I'm going to be Matthew's review. Amanda sent it. Started this morning. So we'll get that.
You're gonna meet with her over what?
No, at least.
The lease and what they keep asking me about, and I said that'll be between y'all as far as paying for the electric meter and paying for the gas.
We're going to go over all that today.
All right, that'll work out. That's the only thing that's a loose end on the building. Now, I really, well, it can be in their name and they just, yeah, it's turned out nice. Green Chapel Road still wants to slide. There's now that Brad's got an assistant, he's got a little project he's gonna look at. We did some work. Kentucky 1066 the state did a project where they put the railroad railings, drove them in the ground 33 foot deep. That's how long the rails are. And they put guardrail. They drive it in like piling. It is a fix for these rural secondary roads that want to slide off. So it's probably worth investigating and doing for Green Chapel. And I've got the file folder here, Tom Greer and some pictures of 1066. It probably should hold well when it's done, but it's going to either be a state contract price or we're going to bid it, one of the two. So if we have to bid it, then we got to draw up a project, and it just takes time.
Do you know the guys that drove that pallet?
No, it's been 1997. I pulled my old folder out. So we did it in Tom.
The state.
We're gonna get up with the state engineers and see who they get.
There's a state price.
They may have a state contract price.
We can just say we need this many feet done and a unit price.
And that way we know before we go into it,
Yeah.
what we're gonna be into.
Back in 97, we bid it out. I haven't got a 97 contract we put together and bid it. I know, it's hard to believe, but here's a.
I remember. I do, that's amazing how you remember.
There's
certain
actually a little
projects.
design I'm gonna give you on it. I'll give
Okay.
you this file folder when I leave.
Tim's gonna get it ready to talk about it.
Murphy Lane,
Is it hopeless?
it's a lost cause. It's a tough one. We'll have to move the road because the creek is right at the bottom. I mean, it's not like I got any room to drive piling on that one.
There's dump rep in there that
Yeah, I guess you could. It'd be tens and, it'd be $100,000 worth of riprap is what it would be. I mean,
would,
I feel comfortable you could do that. And you could push, you could keep dumping until it pushed, that's only 20 feet high.
What about the property owner on the other side?
That, we haven't got that far
I mean,
with it.
is
Yeah,
it terrain?
It's up. You'd have to drill it and shoot it and doze it and everything else.
Then you gotta deal with slides there.
You're talking about
Could we close that road on that end?
you can close it if you want.
I mean, really?
It's closed now
I mean, why?
with a turnaround. It's a cut-through road. There's
Why could
nobody,
we close it?
There's a due process and.
Nobody
that's
lives
one of the
on it.
options we should look at.
nobody lives on it. It is a-
Nobody lives on
It's
it?
a through road is what. it
And
is.
only people that uses that is the ones coming out of Washington County.
And they don't, well, Nelson County do it.
Right, that's the reason I'm saying.
I'd say that.
I've done talked to every one of them up down the road there, and they said close it because they don't even use it.
Okay.
One other project, the geothermal wells at the Justice Center.
Save money.
We're working on, they get real hot, they're not performing it like they should. It's being investigated, they're actually putting a computer circuit board on the fresh air intake and get that thing back up and running. It hadn't been running for a while, but the intent of that thing is it's got an air conditioning unit inside of it, so it's gonna cool the outside air coming in. Hopefully will help the geothermal well loop line. And we'll see how all that works. That company is actually, they gave us a price, Dean went through Dean on it.
Thermal equipment.
Thermal, no, it was United Mechanical, same company that's doing our roof, doing the jail. But that work's happening right now when this outside air unit starts bringing in this outside fresh air, cooling it down right and putting it back in the building. It's got a mixing wheel in it that mixes when it comes out, so it's supposed to help keep some of the coolness in the building and help the well system. If not, we're gonna end up, we're gonna have to put some sort of chiller on the line down the road.
I think the state's approved this project.
This project, the state's approved. This project's about $3,000 or $4,000, but the outside chiller's a $60,000 type. It's not a real chiller, it's called it's something different, but it's similar to what a chiller would do. Chill the loop, but we're going out in the ground at 98-degree temperature and coming back in at 97, so it's not working well. Your compressors are running full time in there. So that's just a problem with, I'm geothermal in the big building. Geothermal in a big building is tough to work.
Schools use them.
They have the same problems.
they don't have time to recycle back down to 57 period.
Geothermal works if you build a lot of wells. In a house, you build 3 or 4 wells and it works. But in a big building, they'll minimize the number of wells they build because of cost. That's a huge.
I think that there are dozens out there in the parking lot.
There's 60. There's 60 and it should have 66. There's kind of a goof on the math too in the plans, but that's a different issue. But anyway, that's that little project, and it's an interesting little thing. The EMD radial tire footing at New Haven, I mentioned $10,000. I was kind of joking, but
Yeah.
not really.
About 5,000 over, but that's okay.
But I got a proposal for the anchor boats, and they were $3,000 worth of anchor boats. They're just expensive. We haven't started. We're going to call it in, get utilities. I haven't got you a PO yet, Dean, on it, because I haven't got to it that far. But I assume George scared me off on it. He told me I had to put the anchor boats in at an angle. I'm thinking, what in the world? But I don't know what that means.
Anchor boats have to be the same angle of the leg of the tire, which it's very small degree, but the recommendation.
Think about that, Keith. Bad enough to get that
Well,
pattern
you
right.
have to line them up, then you gotta be on the lean also.
We can template.
That won't happen.
No.
Usually make them 10.
He puts a note, that engineer puts a note in there that says they gotta be angled.
It's a recommendation.
Okay.
All right, get the.
That's what everybody gets paid to do the figure things out in the field sometimes.
Yeah. That's a tough little one, but,
We got all kinds of engineers who want to figure it out.
Oh, I see a few.
I'll take Keith's recommendation, sledgehammer.
yeah.
It'll make it fit.
Jeff, I'm gonna go back to the pay list. Did you isolate any of yours yet? Or you
Not
just-
yet, we're gonna-
Okay, okay. I didn't mean to ignore you there a few minutes ago, but I got your list, so just let us know.
You've got a big list, we're gonna whittle it down.
I'm on page 3 of mine right now. trying to figure it out.
Anything else, Jim, on road?
That's all I've got.
EMS report.
Follow up on Jim Station 2 during completion, you saw those photos. I would guesstimate probably an August 1st move date, and I'll have to get with Matthew on it. We have the lease with the landowner now that we'll need to give them a termination time, so I'll send Matthew that current lease that we have, so you can look at that. It's about 14 pages on it, so you can see if there's any issues with termination.
Is it gonna work out about the same?
I think it will, yeah. We just have to get those. Some of you know we had the a vehicle fire 2 weeks ago since last meeting on the 2040 450 Squad 38. That just so happens to be the vehicle that we refurbed this past fiscal year. We contained the fire to the engine compartment and the interior of the cab. So the box is intact and it was repainted and refurbed. Once we get, the insurance adjuster is supposed to get with me this afternoon. And once Judge gets the insurance company's proposal and all, then we decide what we want to do on that. We want to try to buy it back or let it go, whichever. Also on 95, just a report, we had transmission go out of that one since last meeting. No one can seem to find a transmission for that year model. So Steve down at the road department got on some of his contacts and did locate us a transmission in Texas, I believe it was, and that's being put in. So point being here is the 95 through the 99, that we have 3 of those vehicles still. We're starting to see where we may have issues getting parts for those vehicles as time goes along. For the last 5 years, just for an update for the court, we've used the electronic patient care reports on the computers furnished by Kentucky Board of EMS at minimum cost to us, $2,500 a year. They did an update in October, and the update has a multitude of problems that we've tried to work through since then, and really are beating our heads against the wall on it. I put in budget last year to do our own program, buy our own program from a vendor, and control the program ourselves. Right now, we're under the state's thumb. Anything we need done has to go through a long process to get it done. We did not use those funds last year to do our own, and I have them in the budget to do this year, and I think it's time for us to shop for that.
You're talking about July 1?
Yes, for this next fiscal budget. So
But just bring us a
they were in this
proposal.
budget, we didn't use them, but I put it back in the new budget, knowing that we're going to have to come up with something on our
And the
own.
state's program's not good?
When they did an update, it's just got a lot of, it's a dirty program for, I mean, we can't run reports. The standard, Mr. Berkshire wanted some reports on our Narcan usage and overdoses. We have to manually do that. We could do it before, but we can't do it now on statistical data. It's very cumbersome for the staff. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes per call to complete the report and post it. So, we've given a good shot. I think it's time now for us to do our own thing. So we'll be looking at that, and I'll have something maybe by August to bring back. Moving over to emergency management, the tire lights, I reported last meeting that we had those, the bright light fixed, but now the side lights are not working, so we'll have to get back with the company and work on that. During this storm last Tuesday, week ago, or a little over, blowing rain, we had a hard rain. The air conditioner unit on that entire building was on. The fan sucked in water and sprayed down our radio equipment. Water and electronics don't work very well. We were out there about 6 hours on Tuesday night trying to recover some of the equipment. We're going to have to send some of the equipment back to the company and have it repaired. But all the emergency services frequencies are up and going. We were able to reprogram some other things and get them up and going. So we'll have a little bit of a repair bill on that. Weather siren at Bachman is functional. We have, for the media, we're going to test that siren on Wednesday, the 29th at 6 o'clock by itself. It is a very loud siren. It is not like the sirens that we've heard in the past. The acoustics on it may get Sam some complaints.
We're getting older and deaf, that's probably a good
But
idea.
I do want the media to know, they may want to let folks know that that siren will be going off for the full 3 minutes on the 29th at 6 o'clock.
If you're not going to storm.
Yes. If not, we'll have a storm.
It's happened before.
Yes, it has. That'd be my report.
Thank you, Joe. Jail report, Dorcas?
Okay, today we have a total of 143 inmates. We have 3 in Hardin County, 2 on home incarceration. We have 33 state inmates. We have 8 inmates serving weekends. So we have an in-house total of 130 inmates. May's daily average control intake, we had 706 man days. We averaged 22 a day. Class Ds, we had 265 man days, so we averaged 8 of those a day. Nelson County inmates, we had 2,878 man days. That's an average of 92 a day. So our total for May, we had 3,849 man days. That's a daily average of 124 inmates. In May, new arrivals, males, we had 138. Females, we had 53, so it's a total of 181. Releases, we had 126 males. Females was 53. So we had a total of 179 releases. And then sentenced inmates out of district court, we have 5. We have 8 serving weekends. Waiting for court, we have 31. Most of these 31 are going to wind up in circuit court by the time they get finished going through district. Home incarceration, we have 2. We don't have any work release. None of them is doing community service. State inmates, we have controlled intake is 26. Class B's is 7. Controlled intake serving weekends, we don't have any. We have 6 that's doing community service. We have 4 on work release. Circuit court sentenced to jail, we have 2. And we have 10 out of drug court. So in circuit court, waiting for court, we have 51. So we have 82 inmates that has not been sentenced. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Dorcas. Landfill solid waste report.
Okay, well, John started yesterday. If you guys get a chance to speak to him.
But Brad, I guess the media, John Greenwell is our new engineer. He's here on the front row. Make sure you get him on the front page. No.
How many years you worked at?
17. 17.
You
been up there 17
He'll have the
years?
same
We
problem.
want a before and after.
So we need a before and after picture.
You don't have to pose.
It goes by quickly.
Yeah.
So I think it'll work out great. I mean, it'll take a little time for the training process, and John's a pretty sharp guy. I mean, he'll pick up on it quick, I think.
Where's your office at the landfill?
Yeah.
They've had an empty office out there since one of them come uptown.
So basically, he took the office I was still cleaning, Jeff, and then there was an office, an additional office out there, and I moved in. That's what Jim did when I was there, and it works out great. And, I'll spend the next month or 2 with him, and then slowly start to transition so he can start training me more on a day-to-day basis on what goes on up there.
Usually better hope Kroger gets back.
I take a garbage truck up there and help him.
Exactly. Whatever's needed, man. We did get inspected by the state. We got a report back, everything's fine. Those guys, you can start, and I've told John this, you set your clock to it. Every 3 months they show up. And so everything turned out well right now.
It wasn't yesterday, was it?
No. Wasn't yesterday. It's easier in the summertime because we can haul dirt. I mean, that's the biggest thing they're looking for, guys. You all know that, so. Keep it covered and whatnot. To address the compactor overheating, you guys heard me talk about it last meeting, and you probably saw the bill come through on that. There was a lot of hunting and finding, investigating, I guess, trying to figure out what was going on with that. We took the head off. Our guys said they cleaned the radiator. We ran a test on it, which is a temperature gun that tests the heat that comes into the top side of it and the bottom side of it. They claimed there was 12, 15 degree drop in it. It finally boiled down to it was a dirty radiator. I mean, we sent it out, had it cleaned, and it just fixed the problem. But it was a lot of chasing it down. We did find out we had a fuel pump that was a little off, that they retimed and whatnot. We thought maybe it was what's called overdosing it, meaning putting too much fuel into it. So they adjusted it a little bit, so it's back and running today. I mean, we ran it all day long yesterday, and as hot as it was yesterday, 180, 190 is about as hot as it got. So, thank goodness we found it, just a hard lesson to learn
That's
finding
how hot
it.
I was yesterday.
Yeah. We've been really, I don't know, really busy at the landfill. I mean, we're up to 275 to 320 tons a day. So it must be a lot of construction going on. Our roll-off
A lot of
business
projects.
is really busy right now, which is good.
Commercial construction going on.
Yeah, people are really using that program. I mean, as you'll see, we have 120 boxes. When I say boxes, roll-off containers, and I don't want to buy any more because they come in constantly all the time, but we're keeping them busy. I mean, which is a good thing, but we're using those trucks a lot.
Two new roll-off trucks, we made I think, a real good decision.
I've already met with Wayne Supply to start the discussions of the high lift on bidding night out. I can tell you our high lift is starting to smoke a little bit, which means it's either turbo or a ring or something going on with it. So we may expedite this process a little
Is it done
quicker.
when it's idling or is it done at full throttle?
Both.
Is it budgeted?
Worse idling than full
Yeah.
throttle.
Right.
Might as well bid it out.
Well, let me ask you something, is
That's
that on
14
same price contract too?
No,
No.
because they don't sell enough of those. I asked that question.
Special.
It's about a 14 to 16 week lead time when you bid one out, once you order it.
Well, the one we got a new model, when we got it, wasn't it?
Correct, and the one we're gonna get now is gonna be a new model.
No, we don't want to do that.
I don't even know if they have
Seriously.
a new, I don't know if they have a new old model, is what they've gone to a G, I think is what it is now. I'm wanting to say D is the 963D is what we have. I know what you mean, you go through these, it's like any new model, you have issues when it's the new model.
They really had issues with that one.
Yep, I'll give one thing, Caterpillar stood behind it, it was a pain, because you remember they had to rebuild that entire engine.
Yeah.
It was on their nickel, but they stood behind that piece of equipment, they really did. It's
course,
been a good piece, really.
It's made in France, so
Yeah.
they ship them from France.
I know.
The only other things you guys may have saw it in the paper or not, we are bidding out pickup trucks. It's 2 for the road department and 1 for the landfill for particular, it's Eddie Piles is who it is. You guys know he runs out and does those little side roads. His truck's got 230-some thousand miles on it, so it's about the time to replace his truck.
We're gonna move that truck to the,
Recycling, and then we'll move the recycling truck down to the fuel truck, so we can actually have a 3/4 ton fuel truck out there.
Hadn't Eddie had a lot of problems with that truck ever since it's been new, trying to keep it on the road?
There is a shaping problem with that truck that Ford cannot figure
Ever
out.
since it's been new.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, what Jerry's talking about, you drive down the road at a certain speed, it's got a real bad shimmy to it.
Oh, it does.
And
Is that a
then,
You can't keep it on the road. You wouldn't want to drive it to Louisville very much.
but it's
You drove it
specific to that truck. I don't know why.
I rode in it.
I don't know why, I don't know, we've taken it
I
back, and they
mean-
can't figure it out.
It'll shake you off the road.
it'd be a good recycling truck.
Yeah.
Don't use it a lot.
Okay.
But we'll bring that back to you all on July 1st, so you guys know we did budget that
It's
stuff.
okay.
The one truck is for one of their foremans for it to have a utility box, another one's a dually with a flatbed. Ours is it'll be a ton, but it'll be a regular pickup truck, but that
Single one.
single, correct. And they'll bring back to you guys will get approval of that.
3 dualies will be the 4-wheel drive dualies run around snow plowing. We need 3. one we got now is a 3/4 ton truck. It's just overloaded real bad. But that'll be a take-home truck for our foreman, is what that'll be now, so.
What else you got, Brad?
That's it. Thank you all for bringing John in.
John,
We appreciate
pleasure to
it.
meet you. Good luck. and Look forward to working with you.
Recreation report? Tyler?
For the news media, tomorrow, we're having our rec board meeting at the park at the soccer board meeting room at 6 PM. Besides that, we've been doing a little workout at Covertown, put in that park bench out there at the playground. Bethlehem Baseball is kind of generous. They're going to donate their old scoreboard to Covertown Park so they can have a new scoreboard. So thanks to Roger Robson and the Bethlehem Baseball team for donating that, because the one out there is getting in kind of rough shape. So they're going to donate that with their old Coca-Cola because they got a new one. So besides that, baseball is kind of winding down there and starting All-Stars this weekend. So everything's kind of slowing down now.
Baseball usually just summer months.
Yeah.
I'll have to say you must be handling it pretty good, because I haven't received the phone call. So,
We got a before picture of him too. In about 10 years, we get an after picture of him too.
Judge, I was out to recreation, walking that trail, that's probably time we want to look at resurface some of that.
Yeah, there's
Walking trail.
there's a few spots that are getting
Prices are reasonable, based on overall Bethlehem.
yeah, back in.
And that's in Sam District, yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't forgotten paving the fairgrounds.
We should probably go ahead, once you just get a price, Tyler, on what it would take to repave the areas that need paving.
Yeah, there's three or four places
Yeah.
that me and Brian.
Haven't walked it for a while, I
I
know
walked
that
it
places.
one day last week.
Good point, thanks, Bert. Anything else, Tyler? Commercial design ordinance amendment in your mail. You received a proposal where we would take the commercial DRB as we know it. That ordinance and amended allow more administrative review and approvals. And that would require Jan, myself, and I think the chairman of the board. You want to kind of explain how we got to this point, Jan? You're better at.
The current process takes about a month and a half to go through that process. The process is, they have to apply by a certain deadline. It takes us about a week and a half to get everything copied, staff reviews done, and sent to the Development Review Board. Development Review Board meets, and then they make a recommendation either to you all or to City Council. That takes about a month and a half. All the projects we're getting in right now, they're meeting 99% of the standards when they come in. Usually by the time I do a staff report and say this is the one that you left out, which are usually pretty minor issues, by the time the DRB board meets, they've met all the standards. The DRB board meets for about 5 minutes and makes the recommendation, and you all aren't getting as many as the City Council, but then they're just sent to the legislative body and approved at that point. So we're trying to take those projects that meet all the standards once they're submitted, and it can be an administrative approval with the committee. It would be myself, the DRB chairman, or his representative. If he happens to be out of town, it would come back down to the vice chairman, and then the judge or the mayor in the city council or their representative if they happen to be out of town. So it would be a 14-day turnaround total. Probably it'll be quicker than that as long as we can get the three together. It'd probably be a 2 or 3 day turnaround once we get it in. So
14
it leaves,
days instead of 45.
instead of 45. And that would be if they meet all the standards. If
If
they
they all
don't,
requirements. And
But
you can
most
actually
people
make,
know
we can do like we've been doing, and make approval with conditions, like we've done.
right, and most of that's been done. The CVS drugstore, they came in, they did their due diligence before the meeting. They came in and they met every standard we had. And the guy drove up from Auburn, Alabama, their engineer, and was at the meeting for 5 minutes. So it would, 45 days down to 15.
This is a county ordinance. Really, Plan and Zoning is the administrator of this program for us, and so we would have to do our ordinance. We actually have a very lengthy ordinance.
We're working on trying to streamline that too, but we wanted to get this process in place first and come back with the rest of it.
And you were kind of asking your opinion before it got to us, I think.
Matthew and Tim Butler both reviewed
I strongly would recommendation to approve this, the amendment to our commercial design standards ordinance. Motion to approve on first reading, advertised for a second by Keith Metcalf, a second by Jeff Lear. All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Keep copy of that email. Okay. Okay, under, anything else under old new business, you guys?
We didn't have to do a second reading on that Presley Drive, do we?
No, that's just an adoption.
No, it's just an adoption. You did something.
Anybody in the audience have anything before we go into closed session? Sheriff, you don't have anything to report? You're as quiet as I've seen you in about 15 months, 16 months. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion from the fiscal court to go into closed session as per KRS 61810, 1, and it was G. Whereas discussions between a public agency and a representative of a business entity and discussions concerning a specific proposal where open discussions would jeopardize the siting, retention, expansion, and upgrading of that business. Motion by Bernard Ice, second by Jerry Hahn. All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. Thank you. Brad, won't you stay in? Jim, you can stay, please.